I mean, is he here, Killian?
Yeah, what's that? That's it, Jim. Is he here?
He's not.
I met him.
What, call him?
Hello, Callum.
I call him.
Yeah, he's just connecting there.
And I just swipe to the right, man, because he bought E in the same time.
Yeah.
You doing the same thing?
Yeah.
What do you introduce myself as well?
Yeah. Well, Callum,
I'll call him.
welcome to our podcast. Thanks for taking your time.
Well, lads,
out.
how are you getting on?
Alright. Thanks for taking time
No
out.
bother at all?
Alright, we have a few questions to ask anyway.
No.
Right,
Yeah, is
Nathan,
my internet all right now?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
fine.
Nathan's going to start off there with a few questions.
Good.
I'll
All
call
right.
him.
Go on, Nathan, start off
Who
there.
was your
Yeah.
first game against?
For Tipperary or ever
Tip,
in,
yeah.
in
For
football?
Tip. For Tip football.
For Tip, it would have been, against Loud in 2015. I came on as a sub in a qualifier game. So that was my first game. And then the following game then was Tyrone. So they were my first two games then. So it was kind of the Loud game we won easily enough in the end. And then the Tyrone game was a different story altogether. So it was an interesting start anyway.
Who did you look up? Who did you look up to on the Tipperary team currently?
Well, Connor Sweeney would be a big one anyway. He's a really big leader on the team. Like he's just, gets everyone motivated and keeps us focused on that. So he's really become kind of one of the biggest leaders on the team. So he'd be the main one anyway. And then just kind of one or two other lads like Kevin Fye this year now who's just played really well in every game. So just following his example, like trying to perform like that,
Yeah. And then there go.
Did you ever score in the championship or the league?
I scored against Watford in 2016. I was playing, it was in the first round of the Munster Championship. I got a point, and I think that's pretty much the only point I've scored, I'd say, for Tip.
What was your best memory as a kid?
As a kid, I'd say we won a few underage county finals and stuff at underage. So, we won one in hurling and one in football. So either of those would have been very good, or else just kind of going to matches and enjoying them as well would have been good memories as well.
Yeah, there go.
Was there any other sport you were interested in?
Yeah, so I played kind of a bit of everything up along, and rugby I played a good bit I went to school in Rockwell, so the rugby was big there. So I played that up until 6th year, and I used to love rugby, alright, but I had to decide then in 6th year between the two, because they were kind of taking up too much time. So I went with the GA in the end. So I'm happy enough anyway with the decision.
What's your favourite thing to get out of the chipper?
Favorite thing out of the chipper. It depends now what mood I'm in. Like sometimes I wouldn't mind a kebab or something, or else a chicken fillet burger as well. I'd like to. So just depends on the mood.
Right.
What school did you go to?
Well, I went to primary school in Grange, and then went to Rockwell there outside Cashel then for secondary school.
What was your first reaction when in the Munster final?
Mad. I actually had the ball when he blew up the whistle, so I just started sprinting down the pitch. I didn't know where I was going. I just kind of roaring, absolutely delighted, and then just started hugging all the boys. So couldn't believe it really, and just relieved as well as much as anything. So yeah, it was a good memory now.
Looking back in your career so far, what was your favorite game you played in? I mean, how many injuries did you have? Sorry, Tom.
How many injuries?
Yeah.
I've had a good few injuries. Yeah, I've had a good few injuries in the past. All right, I kind of after 2016, kind of year we got to the semi-final, I got a good few injuries, kind of my hamstring and stuff, and shoulders and that. So I was kind of a bit unlucky for a while. But thankfully now for the last year and a bit, I've kind of been clear of injuries. So it's going a lot better now, thankfully.
Who was your first person you ran to when winning the Munster final?
Trying to remember now. It was Michael Quinlivan actually, yeah, because when I was running down the pitch and then there was no one in front of me because we were all kind of back defending. So I turned around and Mikey was the first there. So yeah, he was the first I met then. So we were hugging each other. So we were just delighted.
Yeah.
Looking back in your career so far, what was your favorite game you played in?
My favorite game was probably the Munster final just gone was pretty good one, and then before that, at under 21, we won a Munster final against Cork, and that one was just kind of like that was my first taste of winning anything with Tip. So that's probably my best memory, I think, because I hadn't up along we hadn't been very successful underage. So my year, so that was really good to finally get some silverware.
Who was the toughest man you met? Who was the toughest man you met?
Toughest man I marked would have been, well, Connor Sweeney in training is tough, and Michael Quinlivan as well. They're tough to mark, but thankfully I don't have to mark them in games too often. So outside of them, Andy Moore from Mayo was tough. I marked him in 2016. He was kind of, I hadn't come up against someone of that quality kind of in a game, would say. So I found that now.
Where was your favorite place to play in GAA?
Temple Stadium obviously would be one of my favourites, because if you playing in there on a nice sunny day is unreal, or else down in Kerry and Fitzgerald Stadium is class. There's good views of the mountains there, and it always seems to be sunny there when championship is on. So that's probably my two favourite stadiums anyway.
Um, what did you think of the league and the championship this year?
So the league was a bit, because it got interrupted with the COVID, so it was a bit of a mixed bag as well for us. We kind of had some good performances and then some not so good performances, like the Derry game and that. So the league was a bit up and down for us, but we managed to survive. We stayed up, which kind of at start we would have been hoping for more, but we were happy with it in the end, just to stay up. And then the championship, we couldn't have asked for more really. Bar the Mayo game, like everything kind of went right for us, we'll say. So couldn't be happier with the championship.
What team do you support in soccer?
I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't know how you feel about that one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's right. That's good. That's good.
What age did you start playing football for the Tip seniors?
What age did I start playing football? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say 3 or 4. I think I started playing with. Initially, I played for a week with Clonmalogue when I first moved down to Tip, and then once we got we moved into a new house then, and I started playing with Arfin, and then so yeah. But originally I played for a week with Clonmalogue anyway.
Right.
What is your favorite number to play in GAA?
Favorite number would be, I don't know, number 6, I'd say. Probably my favorite one, yeah. And normally number 2 or 4, but if I ever get the chance, number 6, I always enjoy that.
Do you have any memories of the Throne game in 2015?
Is that the under 21 game, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, it was lashing rain that day, I remember, and we all kind of felt good going into it. But it was a really tough game. Like, there was a lot of, borderline stuff going on, but it was really close all the way to the end, and it could have gone either way. Really, we were unlucky not to win, I suppose. But yeah, it was a tough day. Now that was, but we still managed. We got the taste of winning with the Munster final. So at least we have that memory to look back on anyway.
Yeah. All right.
What did you find hard in lockdown, and what did you do to pass the time?
So it's I'm stuck at home anyway at the moment, like most people. So, you kind of get fairly bored after a while. There's only so much Xbox and stuff you can play, like. So, we've been given our programs to do for fitness, and we've got some gym equipment, so that's kind of keeping us busy. We're doing that a few days a week, and I'm studying as well at the moment, so just trying to keep on top of that. It's helping a lot, and just getting out in the fresh air every day, makes a big difference as well.
Looking back in your career so far, what was your favorite game you played in?
say favorite game. Probably with my club nearly was my favourite. Just the year we got to the county final with Arfin, and even getting to just play a county final with the club was great. So lining out in Semple Stadium with the lads who grew up was good. So I'd say that's probably my favourite one.
What did you think of the GA season this year?
I thought it was very good. The shortened season, kind of all the games coming fast, and you're kind of training a bit less. Like sometimes on the training can be tough when you're not actually playing matches. So the shorter season with more matches to games was really good, and I think they're kind of going towards that a bit more, a shorter season. So I think that'll be beneficial in the long run.
What was your best memory of 2020?
Best memory of 2020 would have to be the Munster final anyway. Winning that was definitely the best memory for me anyway.
When you played Cork last minute, what were you thinking?
Just it was kind of backs to the wall because they kept attacking us, and we were just nearly just hoofing the ball down the field, like kicking it back to them. So we were under a fair amount of pressure and just didn't want to make a mistake. So it was kind of really focused, but under a lot of pressure too. But then when the whistle went, obviously massively relieved then.
What do you think of the season breaking up in 2020?
I think I think it's probably better the way. Well, it was kind of broke up the season for us because didn't finish great. We'll say before everything got shut down, and then when we came back, we just seemed to we just seemed to slowly build up into good form, and so it seemed to benefit us a lot anyway. Other teams obviously didn't benefit as much, but it suited us anyway, thankfully.
Yeah.
Have you any advice to someone who is starting out in their GAA career?
Probably the main thing is just to keep at it, keep trying, because you mightn't make a development squad, or you mightn't stand out, to a coach at underage level, but a lot of people don't make it straight away and don't start to until they grow into themselves, so just keep working hard and practicing your skills, because it's the skills really that makes the player, and you can work on your fitness as much as you like, but if you don't have your skills, you're kind of at nothing. So just keep working hard on your skills, and I think that goes a long way towards making it.
Yeah, and you have more questions than me, so you ask away.
What emotions did you feel when you played the game on this anniversary of Bloody Sunday in the green and white?
Yeah, so it was really great to just be able to kind of remember those who had kind of gone before in 1916. So it was really proud moment, and wearing the special commemorative jersey as well. It was a nice way to honour them. So I was proud to be able to be involved in that, and I'll always remember it.
And did you get to keep the jersey after the game?
Yeah, so we all got one jersey. Yeah, so I got all the lads to sign my one, and I'll hopefully get it framed and put it up on the wall because they're nice jerseys, and it'd be a nice way to remember in a few years' time.
Thanks for having us, Callum, and I hope Tip do well this year in the football.
I have one more question.
Right, go on now.
2 more.
Yeah.
Do you find it harder or easier to play with or without a crowd?
What's that? Sorry.
Did you find it harder or easier to play with or without a crowd?
I definitely prefer playing with a crowd anyway. Just like even though we wouldn't always get the biggest crowds in the football, but like your family and friends will be there anyway, and those that love going to the football games, it's great to be able to meet them after games and sharing the victories, or kind of they're there to cheer you up after you lose as well. So definitely prefer playing with crowds there, and they kind of give you a boost while you're playing too. So that'll be my preference.
When you were growing up, what player inspired you the most?
What player is it? What player is it? Did I look up
Inspired
to?
you the most, yeah.
Yeah. I'd say when I was very young, I used to love watching Colin Cooper, the Gooch, just because he was so skillful off both legs and everything. And he came to our club as well when I was young as well, just doing a training day. So I found that really good. And he would have been a guy I looked up to a lot when I was younger. And then on the Tip team, then guys like Philip Austin and that, they're like getting to play with him now is cool. Like when you would have been watching them up along underage.
Thanks,
And
Callum.
who was the toughest player you played against?
Andy Moore would have been the toughest one from Mayo.
Yeah, thanks, Callum, for coming on and answering our questions.
And against Cork, who was the toughest?
Oh, against Cork. Who would have been? I was marking Mark Collins the last day, and he's always tough. Like he's skillful player. And then I marked Paul Kerrigan as well before, and he's like pace and just good shooter. So he was tough to mark. He's very quick. So he was tough to mark as well.
Thank you, Colin.
Thanks, Callum, for answering our questions.
No bother at all.
Coming on, like.
Coming on to our podcast.
No bother at all. When is this the first episode? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You're our first person.
Very good. And how is it? Are you going to be doing it every week, or how often?
Yeah, we're going to do it once a week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. And is it on Facebook, is it?
Yeah.
Good name?
Yeah. It is. It's going to be on Facebook later.
Yeah. All right, very good. I don't know how my internet now was for that.
It was fine.
It was good.
Not the best, but hopefully recorded all right anyway for you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Colin.